Welcome back to yet another monthly showcase. Time really does fly as January has already come to a close and we're heading into February. And this of course means a new monthly showcase for Project Sekai. But before we get into the news, events and happenings in Project Sekai, I would like to make a small request. If you find these videos helpful or entertainment, it will help me a lot if you could consider subscribing, ringing the bell, leaving a like and sharing this video with a friend. Doing these small gestures actually help a ton, and these videos does take quite a bit of time to put together and get out in a reasonable amount of time. So it would help me a ton if you could consider extending these YouTube pleasantries. But with that, let's get straight into the monthly showcase, starting where we always start, the birthdays. And in February we have 2 birthdays that need to be celebrated, one girl and one boy. And our first birthday live show will arrive on February 10th, being Kanade. And of course, starting alongside the birthday live show is Kanade's birthday gacha, which will run between February 10th all the way until February 17th. Kanade's birthday card is of the happy attribute, which means that she will see use during one future event. The event in question actually is going live during February, being Relaxed Tea Time that will run from February 28th to March 6th. Relaxed Tea Time is a mixed limited event with Mafuyu, Kanade and Ichika in the gacha, meaning of course that the birthday card is of lower gameplay value since Kanade is available with a 70% bonus during this event. But because of our recent run-ins with the NIGHTCORD 25 unit in the happy attribute, the happy birthday card for Kanade might actually be higher gameplay value because of her limited availability in the happy attribute. But moving on from Kanade, the second birthday we need to celebrate is KAITO, who will have his birthday live show on February 17th. His gacha will of course start on the same day and then run all the way until February 24th. And as always with Virtual Singer card, KAITO will be unitless or blank, and his card is of the mysterious attribute. And KAITO does not see any future use until the blank Virtual Singer event bonus changes happened in June. This means that KAITO is on the same level as a normal card during all of the events I will mention for him, and he sees future use in 2 different events. And the first event KAITO sees use in is Over Rad Squad, which is the first event where the Virtual Singer event bonus changes actually takes effect. Over Rad Squad will run from June 30th to July 7th and has Akito, Kohane and Miku in the gacha, meaning that KAITO is of higher gameplay value as he's only ever available with a 50% bonus during this event. The second event KAITO will see use in is This Moment With You that will run from the 20th of September to the 28th of September. In the gacha for this event is Ichika, Saki and Len. This of course also means that KAITO is of higher gameplay value as he is not available with any more than 50% event bonus for this event. So while KAITO doesn't have a ton of future usability, he definitely has some great ones coming up. And as always, if you prefer the first year or the second year counterpart for either Kanade or KAITO, they will be available through standalone gachas. These standalone gachas will become available at the same time as the new birthday gachas, but since they are standalone, you will have to pull from each gacha separately to get all 3 of the birthday cards if you want them all. And if you want any of these cards, make sure to mark the date as the birthday gachas does not stick around for very long. So you can be sure that you're able to snag whichever birthday card you want the most. But moving on from the celebrations, we also have 3 gachas rerunning during February. As always, 2 of these gachas are having their final rerun before they are discontinued and their cards are added into the Recollection Festival pool that we will see in August. And if you want more information on the Recollection Festival, check out my video I made on the topic that you can find down in the description. And since we had a colorful corner confirming the dates for these reruns, I will go in order of appearance. Which means that the first gacha we will see is Knights of White, that is having its second and final rerun start on February 5th. The gacha will then be available until February 12th before being fully discontinued as a standalone gacha. And of course, in this gacha is Tsukasa, Akito, and Mizuki. This is followed by our first rerun of the gacha Sweet Cute Valentines that will start on February 12th right after Knights of White ends. It will then run all the way until February 21st. And in this gacha is of course Ichika, Kanade, and Nene. On top of this, we do have the second and final rerun date already confirmed for this gacha. Sweet Cute Valentine will have its final rerun in September of this year. Our final rerun is of the Graceful Marriage gacha, which is the second and final rerun for this gacha. The rerun will start on February 23rd and run all the way until March 4th. And in this gacha is Anne, Shizuku, and Vivi Bad Squad MEIKO. So make sure that if you want any of the cards from Knights of White or Graceful Marriage and you have the funds available, to mark down the date, as this will be your final time to pull from these gachas as standalone experiences. As for Sweet Cute Valentines, you can hold off for now if you do not have the funds available. But make sure in that case to plan your crystals accordingly, as September of this year will be your final chance to pull from the Sweet Cute Valentine gacha when it arrives for its final rerun. So make sure to mark down the dates for these gachas if you're going to pull, but with that we can move on to the paid gachas of February. During February, we will have 3 different paid gachas, 2 of which were not present on the Japanese server. The first paid gacha to arrive is a premium costume gacha that will start on February 14th and run all the way until February 28th. This is a brand new costume not available on the Japanese server, and as always, a premium costume gacha will set you back 3,000 paid crystals and grant you the costume as well as a guaranteed 4-star card. And obviously the costume is available in 4 different variants, with 1 version for the female characters and 1 version for the male characters. The second premium gacha to arrive is the 14 million download premium gacha that will start on February 24th and be available all the way until March 10th. You can pull from this gacha by buying the 14 million download voucher available in the Crystal Shop for around $2.99 American dollars. The gacha will not come with a guaranteed 4-star, instead being a standard gacha pull with the standard rate of 3% chance for a 4-star. And as always, I feel like it is a bit disappointing that the download milestone celebration gachas keep being paid. It doesn't really feel like a celebration when you have to pay to participate in the celebration, especially not considering it is just a standard gacha pull without any bells or whistles that really make it worth the $2.99 it actually costs. But let's not linger on that. The final paid gacha we will see was the one that was available on the Japanese server, being the Happiness Package. This gacha will start on February 25th and run all the way until March 5th. As always with Happiness Packages, you get to pick one of several different rewards that you want to be granted once you pull from the gacha. Among these rewards is, for example, a wish jewel. The gacha will cost the standard 3,000 paid crystals and will have the card selection up until the event Star of Your Own Story. It is very important to point out though that the NIGHTCORD 25 World Link event Searching for Sunken Shadows will not be available through this Happiness Package gacha. From November, it is only the cards from Star of Your Own Story that will be available, while the Searching for Sunken Shadows cards will only be available during unit gachas, not any paid gachas outside of that. I am just giving that as a heads up. If the Searching for Sunken Shadows cards was something you were hoping to be able to snag through paid gachas in the future, just know that the World Link cards will be excluded from future paid gachas. But that covers all of the 3 paid gachas we will see during February, so instead we can look toward towards the login campaigns we will have. And of course, seeing as it is February, it is only natural that we will have a Valentine's Day login campaign. Logging in between February 14th and February 15th will grant you 100 wish pieces as well as a Valentine's Day stamp. Of course, also tied to this login campaign is a Valentine's Day virtual live show that will be available between February 14th and February 15th as well. Participating in this virtual live show during the allotted time period will grant you another 100 wish pieces as well as a title for Valentine's Day 2025. So make sure you are ready on Valentine's Day to pick up the 200 wish pieces, the stamp and the title, as these are only available for a very short window of time. And of course, since we had a 14 million downloads paid gacha, we will also have a 14 million download celebration login campaign. Starting on February 24th and running all the way until March 10th, you will be able to log in for several days to claim different rewards. Among these are up to 700 crystals if you log in for all the available days. It was not revealed what the other rewards would be or how long you will have to log in, so make sure you start logging in during February 24th so you make sure you get all of the rewards from the 14 million downloads login campaign. But that covers all of the login campaigns we will have in February, which isn't a lot. And it only leaves us with the 3 new events arriving during February. Because February 2024 was a leap year, one of the events during this month will be set askew and be 1 day shorter than it was on the Japanese server. But the leap year situation will not affect any further events than that single event. But our first event is Lead with Courage and Kindness that will run from February 10th to February 18th. This is a Leo Need unit focused event in the Cool attribute. And the gacha for this event is called Grazing Ever Higher. During the Colorful Corner, they announced that this gacha will be running between February 10th and February 18th, which I think is a mistake on Colorful Palette's part. The gacha should be running to February 20th when the next event arrives. Otherwise, we would have a 2-day break where we do not have any gacha available at all, which is unheard of in the game, and I don't see any reason they would start with that now. So I am going to make the call that this gacha will be running between February 10th and February 20th, not 18th as they announced during the Colorful Corner. But with that out of the way, these are the 3 new cards arriving with the Grazing Ever Higher gacha. Following this, we will see the event From the Marks Left Behind that will run from February 20th to February 26th. And this is of course the event affected by the leap year situation, as it ran all the way until February 27th on the Japanese server last year. But this is a more Jump unit focused event in the pure attribute. The gacha tied to this event is called Rainbow Magic Drawn in the Sky that will run from February 20th to February 28th. And the 3 new cards arriving with the gacha are these. And this of course leaves us with the limited event, being this year's White Day, Relaxed Tea Time. Relaxed Tea Time will run from February 28th to March 6th. This is a mixed event in the Happy attribute, with the gacha being called What Awaits After Battle. The gacha will be available between the 28th of February and the 8th of March. And the 3 new limited cards added with the gacha are these. And usually I don't talk about the songs being added with each month as I have it instead in text form available down in the description, but I thought it would be nice to at least mention the Circus P collaboration event we will have on the EN server. In February we will see 3 new English songs added by the producer Circus P. On February 6th the song Karma will become available. On February 14th we will see Last of Me, and finally on February 17th we will see a brand new song from Circus P called Electric Weekend Zone. And Electric Weekend Zone seems to be celebrating KAITO's 19th anniversary as a virtual singer. So it's very exciting to see new English songs being added since we have so few of them in the game. So hopefully we will see even more English songs being added into the game since there's so many talented English producers that have not yet had their songs added to Project Sekai. But with that, we have covered everything that's going on in February. February definitely isn't the most exciting month we have ever seen, but I think that is a good thing since we're having the 3.5 anniversary coming up next month. It is wild that we're already on the 3.5 anniversary, cause it just felt like we finished the 3rd anniversary a few days ago. But even if February is calmer, I don't think it's underwhelming as there is quite a few things happening. I am especially excited about the Circus P collaboration, as having more English songs being added is a huge deal as we have a lot of English producers that could be added into the game in the future hopefully. Seeing another login campaign for 40 million downloads is also nice as it will give us more crystals, which is never a bad thing. And there certainly is a lot of gachas, both final reruns, first reruns, and new gachas that people have been looking forward to. So while a bit calmer, February certainly isn't a slow month in my own opinion. But down in the comments, please tell me how you are feeling about February. Is there any of the reruns or the new gachas that you're really looking forward to? Or are you going to skip this entire month and maybe wait for the 3.5 anniversary? As always, I love to hear your opinions, and while you're down there, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed, share this video with a friend and like it, as all of these things really does help me a ton. As always, I want to extend a thank you to all of my Patreon supporters, with a special thank you to all of my append players being Ollie, Charlie, Katie, Mia Marie 21, Opal Siren, Petterish, Ranmaru, Shoop, Snobby Hickory, and Veritas Uwu. As always, thank you for your continued financial support as you are making it more feasible for this to be a full-time endeavor for me one day. And if you want to join my lovely Patreons in supporting me a little bit extra in what I do, a link will be available down in the description for you to check out. But with that, I've rambled far long enough. I will not keep you here any longer. Let's get out of here for the month.